welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be starting Mal's Shadow Spare Ribs from the Firefly Cookbook. And we're also going to be doing the Mandarin salad from the cookbook a little bit later. But for today we're going to be starting with our ribs. And I'm going to start by doubling the marinade ingredients, just because I don't think the single batch is going to be enough for the amount of ribs I have here. So I've got 6 tablespoons of brown sugar, light brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 cloves of crushed garlic, a half of a teaspoon of ground ginger, a half of a cup of soy sauce, and a half of a cup of rice vinegar. And those are all of our marinade ingredients. For our ribs, you can either go with 4 pounds of beef short ribs, or in my case, I've opted to go with the 4 pounds of pork spare ribs. So all we need to do is get some of this out of our way, and we're going to start mixing up our marinade ingredients. Okay, guys, I've gone ahead and transferred my ribs into a pan here, and this is what I'm going to let it marinate in overnight. I have cleaned and trimmed off some of the fat off of them, but I did leave a little bit. That way it'll just help flavor our meat. And all of our ingredients here are going to go straight into this bowl so that we can mix them together. And for our last ingredient here, put in our sugar. And I'm just going to give this a quick stir. While I do this, I'd like to remind you of the Gamers and Geeks playlist that JP Death and I have going on our channels. It's a community-driven playlist made up of you, our friends and YouTube family. If you guys would like to be a part of it, it's really easy. All you have to do is go out and make a cooking video. And once you've done that, post it to your channel and then let either JPEG or I know in the comment section of our latest cooking videos. Or if you're a part of our Discord service, you can let us know over there. The only thing we do ask, guys, is that you mention the Gamers and Geeks playlist somewhere in your video, as well as leaving a link to it down in your description, and that way we can just continue to support all the people that have already contributed to the list. So all I'm going to do at this point is pour my marinade over the top. I'm probably going to make sure I get this covered just a little bit better, and I'll be putting this into the refrigerator and letting it marinate overnight. And I'll probably come in several times and kind of flip it over into the marinade to make sure that all of the meat gets coated with it. Until then, you know, there's nothing I can do but wait. So I will see you guys tomorrow when I pull this out of the refrigerator. Our ribs have been marinating for actually about 14 hours now. And I did come in and flip them every couple of hours through the night just to help get that marinade through them. If you'd been able to put these in a plastic bag, you wouldn't have had to do that. But all we're going to do now is take them out and transfer them to our cookie sheet here that I've got lined with parchment paper, sorry. And then I'm also going to reserve this marinade, and I'm going to baste them about every half an hour throughout the whole entire cooking process. I'm going to be cooking these on 350 degrees for about 1.5 to 2 hours. And then I'll check and make sure they're done. If not, I'll let them go a little bit longer. But in the meantime, while these are cooking, we're going to start getting our salad ingredients together. So let me get cleaned up and I'll bring those over. Alright guys, our ribs are almost out of the oven. So I wanted to go ahead and get our salad together. The ingredients we're going to need for that are about 10 ounces of mixed spring greens. There's some radicchio, some spinach, some frisee lettuce in here, as well as a few others. You're also going to need a can of Mandarin oranges, which I've gone ahead and drained, and I've reserved all their juices over here. We're going to use part of it for our salad dressing. You're going to need a half of a cup of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of poppy seeds, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey, some goat cheese crumbles, 1 apple that I'm going to thinly slice here in a minute, as well as some edamame and some candied pecans, or you could use candied walnuts. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and start getting our dressing together, and I'm going to do that by combining about half of our mandarin orange juice into this container, right in there with the olive oil, maybe just a tad bit more. That should do it. I'm also going to add in my vinegar and my poppy seeds, as well as the honey. And then I'm going to put a lid on this and shake it until it's well combined. Alright guys, I've already got our salad dressing together and it tastes really good. I'm just going to set it to the side. I've gone ahead and thinly sliced our apples, and I'm going to pour the remainder of the juice over them. And this should help prevent them from turning brown. Give these a light toss, and then we'll start assembling our salad. Alright guys, I've got those tossed around, so now what we're going to do is start building our salad. And I'm going to start by putting down a bed of our lettuce. Next on are a few of our mandarin oranges. I'm just going to lightly sprinkle these all across the salad. The next thing I'm going to do is start placing some of our apple slices in here. The next thing I'm going to add is some of our edamame. The next thing I'm going to add are about a fourth of our candied pecans. Don't want to add too many of them, but these are going to give a nice sweet spicy pop. I fix these with just a little bit of cayenne to help cut down a little bit of the sugariness in them. The last thing that I'm going to add on for right now is our goat cheese crumbles. I think these have gotten a little bit warm and they're starting to stick together a little bit, but that's okay. They'll still taste good. Alright guys, there we go. Our salad is all together. And the only thing we have left to do is to drizzle a little bit of the salad dressing over it right before we serve it. But I'm going to wait to do that until the ribs come out of the oven. So I'll bring you back once everything is completely cooked and I've got our plate assembled. Alright guys, our salad and our shadow spare ribs are done. As you see, I've got them all plated up, and I am very anxious to get in here and give these a try. I did go ahead and add a little bit of the salad dressing right before or right after I put it on the plate. So I want to try and get a little bite of everything. A little bit of that pecan, some of that goat cheese, that nice tangy goat cheese. Wow, this salad is incredible. I love all the flavors going on in here. The little tang from the goat cheese is really good compared to all the sweetness from the salad dressing, as well as those nuts. I did add a little cayenne pepper to my candied nuts, so I get that little pop of spicy heat every once in a while. Overall, really good, and I will definitely be making this again. But now for the star of our show, our ribs. I cannot wait to dig in to these. As you guys can see, I had a very hard time stopping at just 1 or 2 bites of those ribs. These are incredibly good. That marinade has soaked all the way through the meat, so you get that flavor in each and every bite. I think the only thing that could make these ribs any better than what they are is to have cooked them out on a grill. Get that nice smoky barbecue flavor deep into them. Would really set these ribs right over the top, as well as the salad. It is a great combination paired together, and I highly recommend you try both of them. But that is going to be it for me for the day. If you guys have enjoyed this video, leave me a comment down below. If you guys tried this recipe out, let me know how it turns out for you. Remember to check out the Gamers and Geeks playlist, as well as my Firefly cooking playlist. I will leave links down in the description to them. And as always, thank you all so very much for joining me today. I'm Big Ball Girl. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.